Ladies and gentlemen, welcome today to another edition of NASCAR Heat 5 Championship Mode. It is another full race live stream with a realistic broadcast. Before we get into this thing, hit the subscribe button for more daily NASCAR content. We do these full race live streams on the daily. It's going to be a fun one. We've got the Bass Pro Shops NRA Bristol night race here today on the channel. It is the final race of the round of 16 of the playoffs. I just wrapped up my test session, practice, and qualifying, making sure that the car is tuned up and ready to go for tonight's 500-mile event at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Also, hit the like button if you're just tuning in as well. It helps with the YouTube algorithm so we can get the viewership from new viewers, as these streams and videos that I post will be, recommended under other NASCAR related content. Before we get into this race and take you through at least the short little notes briefly that the game has for us, before we get into the race, we need to take a look at the point standings coming into this race, because as mentioned, it is the final race of the round of 16 in the playoffs. Joshua Rumsey, Darren Dill, Ethan, welcome to the stream, everybody. So we'll take a look at the point standings coming into play here today. Two drivers have already clinched their tickets into the round of 12. That is Brad Keselowski winning the Southern 500 at Darlington in race 1, and Ryan Blaney coming off a win last night at Richmond, also advancing into the round of 12. There are still 10 more spots that have to be solidified here tonight. If you win, you are in if you're one of those other 14 drivers that are still in the playoffs. For everybody else, though, we'll have to wait and see how their points situation looks. But here is the point situation coming into the day. Martin Truex Jr. sitting pretty comfortably, 69 points ahead of the cutoff line. Ryan Newman comes in 53 points above the cutoff line. William Byron is 49 points above the cutoff line. Kevin Harvick is sitting 44 points above the cutoff line. 39 points above the cutoff line is Kurt Busch after a great run last night at Richmond. He scored a lot of stage points throughout the course of that race. 27 points above the cutoff line is Kyle Busch. 37 points also above the cutoff line is Christopher Bell, the rookie, the only rookie that is in the playoffs. 25 points above the cutoff line, 10th in the standings is Joey Logano. 11th in the standings, 17 points above the cutoff line is Matt Kenseth. After kind of a mediocre performance for most of the day yesterday, he did sneak in with the top 10 late. And rounding out the top 12 currently is Alex Bowman. Bowman currently sits 4 points above the cutoff line. He is the last driver in going into tonight's race. The first driver outside of the playoff cutoff line coming into tonight's race is, believe it or not, Denny Hamlin. Hamlin, he didn't score he scored 3 stage points in yesterday's race and only 1 point for his race finish. He DNF'd and finished 37th after an engine failure midway through last night's race. He didn't have the greatest of runs at Darlington as well, and despite coming in as the number 2 seed for the playoffs, he's 4 points below the cutoff line in the opening round, so he's going to have to get on it tonight at Bristol. 17 points below the cutoff line right now is another notable driver, Chase Elliott, of course, the 2020 champion. He had a rough race, at least a rough finish at Darlington. Picked up the pace a little bit last night at Richmond, a top 15, but still not enough to get him above the cutoff line. He is in danger of missing the next round of the playoffs as well. Eric Jones is 21 points below the cutoff line. He is actually the last driver right now on points of the 16 in the playoffs currently, so he's got the biggest hill to climb, but Bristol is one of his better racetracks. And also the other driver that is below the cutoff line is Eric Almirola. Had a very, very tough performance, ran pretty much outside the top 30 all day yesterday at Richmond. He comes in 15 points below the cutoff line. He is 14th in the standings, so that is kind of a look of that. We'll keep an eye on those bubble drivers as the night progresses, as well as if anybody's able to clinch throughout the course of the race due to stage points, because we do have a lot of drivers that are very, very comfortable coming into this race today, as mentioned. That is going to pretty much wrap up that portion, and now we are going to hop right on into this 500-lap race here today. It is going to be a test of endurance. It's going to be a test of mental patience on my behalf to try and get through these 500 laps today, but I'm going to do my best, as mentioned, and ask from you guys. Bristol is my favorite track, so I definitely want to win this race today, even though Ryan Blaney is already locked into the round of 12, and we really don't have much to race for. We can still race for playoff points, though, as well as Brad Keselowski. If you win a stage, that's 1 playoff point, and if you win a race, that's 5 playoff points. So that will transfer into the next couple rounds if we keep going through the playoffs. So, without further ado, Here we go. Matt Kenseth on the pole for the start of today's race. Kevin Harvick will be outside pole. Kenseth, as mentioned, 17 points above the cutoff line. He's 11th coming in. One of the bubble drivers needs a solid day. Brad Keselowski, Michael McDowell will be starting at the rear of the field tonight. Keselowski also, as mentioned, with a win in the round already. He has nothing too much to worry about, at least tonight. Here we go. 500 laps at Bristol on NASCAR Heat 5 is underway. Green flag is in the air. Blaney spins his tires up the start mid-pack, and they're already 3 wide. 125 laps in Stage 1, followed by another 125 in Stage 2, and 250 to round out the race at the end of the day. Christopher Bell won the first Bristol race earlier this season. He is 37 points above the cutoff line. He's looking pretty comfortable coming into today's race. Just needs a solid day, but maybe he can get the Bristol sweep and maybe even get that third win of the season. A little bit of contact already between BJ McLeod and Ryan Blaney as the battle back right around 13th in this race. Blaney finished third in the first Bristol race earlier this season, looking to improve on that with a win. This is one of his better racetracks, despite the fact he hasn't really had much success in his finishes here. He seems to lead a lot of laps and run up towards the front. Things just don't go his way. He's really got a love-hate relationship with the racetrack as far as his Cup Series statistics go, but we'll see how this will carry on. And how about Denny Hamlin already leading laps? Kenseth led the first lap, but he is quickly fading now back to about 5th place, as it is Denny Hamlin leading the field. 4 points below the cutoff line coming into the race today. Needs a solid day. He's off to a good start early on. We'll see if he can keep it going. If he just could have gotten to the finish of the race yesterday, even though he wasn't running well, he could have had a top 15. It looked like he had at least that going for him. And he would be at least about 20 to 30 points above the cutoff line, so that really does hurt. Simply not getting to the end of the race. Blaney moves up to the outside. Christopher Bell kind of holding him up for the moment. Oh, and Bell gets sideways. Blaney checks up behind him. Loses a couple spots because of it, as well does Bell on both McLeod and Cole Custer. He might have to get around Christopher. He's able to run the bottom, but he gets a little tight on corner exit running the bottom of the racetrack. The top is really his preferred lane. Bell's not running all the way near the top as well. It's kind of crowding Blaney when he tries to go to the bottom, and now Bell runs the bottom right in front of him all of a sudden. So Blaney's going to go back to the outside, his preferred lane. Yeah, David Reagan definitely coming off a big, scary accident at the end of last night's race as well. That came in the final 10 laps at Richmond. Of course, with this being a video game, he's still running tonight. So good to see, but hopefully we don't have any bigger accidents like that in this race, but we've seen them before at Bristol. Already problems with Blaney trying to get around Bell right now. He's not pushing the issue too much to get around him, but at the same time, he's being held up quite a bit. Bell runs the bottom, giving Blaney, or I should say he was running the top, giving Blaney the bottom. Kind of crowded him a little bit, not running all the way near the top. Kind of more in that middle lane, so Blaney couldn't complete the pass on the bottom. Then, as Bell moves to the bottom in front of him, Blaney's like, okay, I'll go outside. And then after a couple laps, Bell goes high right in front of him, kind of taking his line away again. Gotta be frustrating, especially at a track like this, where you don't really have much time to think of where the other driver is going into the corner because these straightaways are so short. Blaney now goes to the bottom, and he'll get around Bell with a little slide job into 1 and 2. So Christopher Bell, after qualifying in the top 10 and winning the first Bristol race this season, the site of his first career win, of course, at least on the channel, for the Cup Series. Not able to really capitalize on that in the early going of today's race. Diamond Jeff, welcome to the stream. Kyle Busch is taking over the race lead now. All of a sudden, William Byron kind of starting to fade all of a sudden. Kurt Busch got around him. Blaney gets around him now for 13th. Look at that heavy pack of lap cars there. 3 wide off the exit of turn 2. Ty Dillon was sandwiched in the middle. Looked to be a little loose as well. Blaney trying to charge on the bottom now underneath Newman. Couldn't quite do it there. Oh, man. Blaney a little loose on the brakes there. These guys using a little bit more brakes with how heavy the lap traffic is all of a sudden. There is 3x3 racing at Bristol. Don't see that too often, but this lap traffic is playing a huge factor in the early going of stage 1. Boyer trying to move himself down to the bottom if he can. Blaney trying to get inside the top 10. Truex took his line away in the center of the corner. Blaney still trying to get around Clint Boyer and Cole Custer. And he's up to the top 10 now into 9th. BJ McLeod, Martin Truex Jr. got through there a little bit quicker. Blaney did as well, though, once he was able to follow those two in front of him. Don't see 3 wide work too often here at Bristol, but somehow it was working back there. Big dive into turns 1 and 2. Crossover now by Truex. Blaney to the outside. And clears him right back. Chase Elliott losing ground already. He's outside the top 20. He is 1 lap down. Outside the top 30, in fact, and 1 lap down already in the race. And he came into this race below the cutoff line as it is. Not a great start for Elliott. 17 points below it as well. So he needs to have a massive, massive points day, if not get the win. And not off to a great start. Eric Almirola as well. Bad run at Richmond last night. He comes in below the cutoff line by 15 points. He's running 28th right now. So those two already off to a rocky start in their hopes of trying to make it into the round of 12 and beyond. We know Talladega, one of Eric Almirola's better racetracks, so if he can make it to the round of 12, you never know. That could be an easy spot to the round of 8 for him. It's like what you saw in real life where he got booted out in the round of 16. He wasn't really able to showcase anything else the rest of the playoffs because he was already eliminated. Meanwhile, Denny Hamlin and heavier lap traffic back where the leaders are is battling Kyle Busch for the lead. Took it back for the moment. They're still trading it back and forth. And where we're at currently, it is a battle for 7th between BJ McLeod in the 78 and the 12 of Ryan Blaney. Blaney trying to slide up in front of McLeod, and he got him. And Truex closes in on the 78 himself now. They're just not going to have green flag pit stops if I had to imagine for the Bristol Dirt Race. I mean, that's the way they do it at Eldora for the Truck Series. And with the stage racing anyway, it's a perfect time to refuel the car if it's a decent amount of laps that they would need more fuel. You just wouldn't change positions under caution. Man, look at this heavy lap traffic up where the leaders are once again. This is insane. This is pretty similar to those pack of cars that Blaney was just around earlier. Now the leaders have caught him and they can't get around him. Blaney gets around Kenseth easily as he's stuck behind Austin Dillon and Josh Bilicki on the outside. This is going to be a mess to get through for these leaders. Already is. Alex Bowman trying to move Kyle Busch out of the way. That's for position as well up there. Matt DiBenedetto on the outside of him as he tries to make ground up. Benedetto's getting that outside to work around these guys, 3 wide. Blaney's trying to go to the bottom underneath Reddick and Kyle Busch. Oh, Reddick got out of the gas contact, and now he runs into the back of Blaney as he checked up after making contact on the outside with Kyle Busch. Guys are checking up way too much, and Blaney might try the outside, seeing that DiBenedetto had a little bit of success with it. You get there on Busch, working on Bubba Wallace, big run there. Almost made contact with Wallace. Wallace backed out of the gas just in time. Harvick getting a little loose. You can feel the car starting to slide out from underneath him a little bit more as well as we're getting later and later into this run. Big run again, though, by the 12 on the top. That time he made contact with the 21. Makes the pass for position, though. Contact is just nature. That is the beast of Bristol Motor Speedway. Short track racing at its finest. Up to second place now, 4 seconds off the race lead. So Hamlin was able to get through that traffic a lot quicker than everybody else. Blaney snuck by to the outside. DiBenedetto had the right idea, and then he just got stuck in that middle lane there for a little bit. Moves back to the outside after Blaney goes through. Well, yeah, that's what it'd be, if they have to change tires at all. The tires don't wear out as much on dirt anyway. But they'll probably still change tires at the stage breaks, I'd have to imagine. That would be about it. They'll probably change tires during the stage breaks, refuel on the stage breaks, not change positions, because that's how they do it at Eldora for the truck race, and I'm sure they'll do that at Knoxville too. But most dirt races in general, that's how they refuel, and they usually don't have to change tires, but NASCAR's running a lot more laps, obviously, so they might end up having to change them. Yeah, pit road would only be... Oh, well, I mean, you can pit under green if you have, like, some sort of a mechanical failure, but... I mean, it's just, like, as far as... They won't have to... For one, Bristol's a short racetrack as it is. They could already go over or right around 150 laps on fuel as it is. So they're really only going to have to refuel the car once. We'll just have to wait and see what kind of tire Goodyear brings before we can speculate if they would have to change tires during the stage break, but they might as well because you can't lose positions anyway under caution, so you might as well change them if you have them. And he almost got the wall off turn 2. 3 seconds off the lead now. He's trying to close that gap on Denny Hamlin. Chase Elliott with a problem. He was already running slow. He was up in smoke, made it to pit road. We stay green. And Chase Elliott might be the first domino to fall of the playoff drivers tonight. Came in below the cutoff line. If he can't get back on the racetrack, then his championship hopes will have gone up in smoke just like his race car moments ago. And Chase Elliott will not make it any further into the playoffs here on NASCAR Heat 5. So Chase Elliott, championship hopes are done in the early going of the Bristol night race here today on the channel. 12 people currently watching right now. Thanks for everybody tuning in, by the way. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already for more daily NASCAR content. We do these full race live streams with a realistic broadcast every single day in hopes of one day me finding my way to living my dream and broadcasting real races within the NASCAR realms. Chef Boyardee, welcome to the stream. Hamlin trying to go 3 wide up the middle now between Keselowski and Justin Haley. Trying to get away from Blaney, who has closed the gap in the thick of the heavy lap traffic. Blaney really loose off of 4 there. These guys are on older tires right now too, which obviously can't be helping too much. Blaney still stuck in traffic. Can't quite get his way around Haley. Oh, now runs into the back of him. Well, that's one way to get around him. Barely clears Austin Dillon. Bouncing off the wall off turn 2. I think that's the first time he's gotten in the wall today. Trying to keep the car about as clean as he possibly can. It's a long race. And again, we have that 5-second damage policy as well. If we have more than 5 seconds of damage, we cannot repair it. Lost Me Jam 1, welcome to the stream. Joseph Bologna, welcome to the stream as well. So Hamlin still leads. He's led the most laps in the early going of the race. Blaney, who has not led yet, is in a race high 2nd place. He has pulled quite a ways ahead of Alex Bowman in 3rd. Bowman came in just 4 points above the cutoff line. Already problems for Chase Elliott, so he will not catch him. Almirola, who is 15 points below the playoff cut line, outside the top 25 early on as well. A couple laps down. So things are looking good for Bowman right now. And how about Hamlin? 4 points. Well, see, that's the thing, too, is Denny Hamlin came in 4 points below the cutoff line. So he's actually beating Bowman as we speak, but not by much. That could actually be a really, really close playoff race by the end of the night. So again, we'll have to keep track of how many stage points those two are going to get. They could get very, very close here by the end of the race if they're still running as well as they are early on. Battle for the lead, though. Blaney to the inside. Makes the pass on Hamlin. Now jumps to the outside of the lap car of Tyler Reddick. Blaney has just led his first lap of the race. At the line at lap 67. Caution free here in stage 1 so far. Not that many drivers on the lead lap. There's Keselowski in 10th in danger of going a lap down, though. Keselowski's got a fast car, too. He's up to 10th place without any cautions at Bristol after starting at the rear. He's getting through the lap traffic really well. But now his teammates about to put him a lap down. That's just a product of starting at the rear at Bristol and having a long green flag run to start the race. It is really hurting him right now. Blaney coming off a win on the latest short track last night at Richmond. So he is already advanced into the round of 12 with that win, as well as Keselowski winning at Darlington is also locked in to the round of 12. Harvick's going to go lap down early. Oh, trying to cross Blaney over. Blaney beats him back to the gas barely, though. Cuts down in front of him as well underneath the 36 car of David Reagan. Kenseth's stuck behind some lap cars as well. He goes a lap down. It's so close between Blaney and Hamlin. Blaney's only about a second ahead of him still, but then you got to go 6.5 seconds back to Bowman. And about 10 to 10.5 seconds back to Truex in fourth. McLeod was 13 seconds off the lead in fifth. So the top portion of the field really got spaced apart. If I had to imagine during that heavy pack of 3x3 battling in lap traffic that we saw about 20 to 30 laps ago. Blaney has won a lot of stages in this current round. He won stage 1 at Darlington and Sweat Bowl stages at Richmond. So he has been awesome as far as scoring stage points as soon as the playoffs started. Trying to do the same here tonight at Bristol, although he's locked in, still searching for more playoff points if he can get stage wins. It's only going to improve his chances of making it to the championship 4 as we get thicker and thicker into the playoffs. Every point matters so much. What an upset it would be if Bowman can knock out Denny Hamlin here tonight as well, knowing that Hamlin was 4 points below the cutoff line. Next closest was Matt Kenseth, who was 11th in points coming in, but he was 17 points above the cutoff line. There is a chance, obviously, that Hamlin can outpoint Bowman, but also outpoint Kenseth, and Kenseth could be below the cutoff line, but then that would mean that Bowman would have to catch him too. It's really mind-boggling how many different scenarios there are, so I'm going to try to keep track of it as best as we can throughout the course of the night, but we do know, no matter what, Chase Elliott is eliminated. He's out of the race because he was already below the cutoff line coming in as it is. So we know one of the 4 drivers that will be eliminated at the end of the night. It's looking like Almirola is going to be the other one, at least one of the other ones. It's going to be a rough night for him because he's off to a rough start and outside the top 25, a couple laps down. Eric Jones also came in below the cutoff line. He's 21 points below the cutoff line. He's running 16th a couple laps down, so that's not going to cut it either for him. Plus, he gets some DNFs going his way. Obviously, Elliott helps, but Elliott was already below the cutoff line. He needs guys that are above the cutoff line to start DNFing, not below it. Benedetto caught behind Logano. Blaney to the inside, and there are now only 5 cars on the lead lap here in stage 1. If you remember the Bristol night race in real life this year, they had a super long green flag run to start stage 3. Ended up coming out to be that there was only 6 cars on the lead lap at the end of the race because a lot of drivers went a lap down with varied pit strategies, and there was a caution in the middle of green flag stops. They trapped so many guys a lap down, and we could see one of those races here. We did only finish with 4 cars on the lead lap in the first Bristol race this season as well. As mentioned, Christopher Bell won that race. Not abnormal when it comes to this track and this game, especially running as many laps as we are with the full race. Gus Johnson of NASCAR. Thanks. I try to bring the enthusiasm just as Gus Johnson knows how to do. Probably one of the better football commentators out there. In my opinion, as well as a lot of other fans. Truex in 4th. This is unbelievable. We might finish with only Blaney and Hamlin on the lead lap right now. It's amazing how those two are getting through the lap traffic so much easier than everybody else. Or at least making it look easier. And obviously it shows with the interval between the leader and everybody else. Truex is trying to hang on in the 19 car. This one green flag run seems to be just hurting everybody else though as well. But seeing both Hamlin and Bowman where they're at right now in this race, that obviously helps us with being able to keep track of the bubble battle for the playoffs as well. Hamlin outscores Bowman in this stage. It's just a little bit closer for Hamlin to reeling him in. He's got about a 4-second lead now. Being about as patient as you can be in the early going of a Bristol night race. Almost 100 laps down already in this race with a very fast race pace to start. Again, caution free. Gus Johnson works for Fox Sports, but he commentates. He's a play-by-play commentator. Used to commentate for NFL, now he does college football games, but he does a lot of the Big Ten and Pac-12 games on regular Fox Network during the football season. He does a lot of Michigan games, and as you guys can tell, I'm a Michigan fan, so I hear him commentate a lot. That's why I recognize the name so quickly. But he's probably one of the better ones out there. He really knows how to bring the enthusiasm. He's so great at his job, too. So Bowman's trying desperately to hang on to his lap by the end of the stage, but Blaney is coming quickly now with just 32 to go in stage 1. He could still finish first driver lap down, obviously get back on the lead lap that way, but he would have to restart at the rear of the field. So Keselowski was able to at least get to the top 10. We'll see if Bowman be able to maybe catch Blaney and Hamlin. But Blaney and Hamlin are just a whole nother level ahead of everybody else here today. Now even Hamlin's falling off as the stage progresses. Bowman's closing the gap on Denny slightly. He's about 8 seconds behind him now. He was 10 seconds back. And Hamlin's now 8 seconds off the race lead from Blaney. Big cross. Oh, 4 wide down the back straightaway. Well, we saw it already. I didn't think we were going to see it that early, if we were going to see it at all today, but we have just seen 4 wide at Bristol. Blaney started on the outside, entering the corner. Got a good run on corner exit, jumped to the bottom, and luckily he had him cleared by the time they got into turn 3 that last lap, because I don't think they would have made it going into the corner 4 wide. It's hard enough to run 3 wide here. That's insane. Just 2 cars on the lead lap. I don't think anybody saw this to start the race, at least. We've seen races like this before on the channel, and it turns out to just not finish anywhere close to how it runs at the beginning of the race, both for the sake of long green flag runs and the sake of not that many cars on the lead lap, because the more cautions we get, the more drivers are going to start to get back on the lead lap, getting the wave around, free pass, etc. That these guys don't have to make a scheduled pit stop in stage 1 or stage 2 at all. You'll probably see them pit if they get cautions, but that's going to be it. They don't have to make a green flag stop at all. Again, as mentioned, these guys can go roughly about 160 to 170 laps on fuel. Tires aren't falling off too bad here today as well. They can easily make it the full 125 laps in these stages. That would be ideal if Blaney could catch Denny Hamlin. I don't know if that's going to happen exactly. Blaney seems to be getting a little bit better on the longer run as well. Jones sneaks under him now. Blaney loves the outside, especially at the beginning of the run, but the car just loosens up so much that he doesn't have as much grip to run up there late in the run. Oh, wow, what a move. Surprised he got that to stick 3 wide. That was the same move he pulled when he went 4 wide a dozen laps ago. Starting high in the corner, getting the run down the banking on corner exit. That time he kind of clipped the apron coming off the exit of the corner, but the car stuck beautifully. Yes, I'm only a Green Bay fan because I've had my dad got me a Brett Favre jersey when I was a little kid. That and I had an aunt and uncle who are huge Packers fans, so I kind of remember watching games over there when I was younger too. So I kind of like embraced the Packer Nation, but I only live probably about an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes away from the University of Michigan. So that's like the closest bigger university to me. Even though I live in Northwest Ohio, it's still like almost an hour closer to the drive than what Columbus is. There's quite a few Michigan fans in our area. And Benedetto's in 7th place, and he's in danger of going 2 laps down all of a sudden. I think he will. Oh, easily. Got caught behind Brendan Gaughan. He's been trying the outside. I'll give him credit there because there is grip up there. It just seems like as the run carries on, the inside is the way to go. Big check up there going into 3. And barely kept it off the back of Tyler Reddick's car. Ty Dillon holding up a train of rookies of both Reddick and Custer. Hamlin 12 seconds off the lead. I don't think Blaney's going to catch him unless Hamlin catches a ridiculous amount of lap traffic here in these final 16 laps. It's still about a quarter of a racetrack that Blaney's got to gain on him. Going to try desperately, though. Next full race live stream on the channel will be tomorrow evening, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Start Time. We will run the Xfinity Series race at Bristol. And that will be the opening race of the playoffs for the Xfinity Series side of things here on NASCAR Heat 5. And we'll go back to NASCAR Thunder 2004 on Saturday afternoon, noon Eastern Standard Time. Will be the start time for that one. Lowe's Motor Speedway, as we're late in the season there. With just 7 races to go. So there you see Hamlin. He has caught some pretty heavy lap traffic. We'll see if Blaney can catch him. 12 to go. I think he's got a good shot to, but Blaney's got to get through this traffic now. Not as much as we've seen Hamlin struggle. There are so many cars up here. I don't know how Blaney's going to navigate his way through it. He's got to be patient, and he's got to think big picture here. If he can't get to Hamlin, he's not going to overstress it. So easy on this old of tires to get ridiculously loose and lose control of your race car. He's just going to follow this train of cars around the bottom as the bottom lane is really starting to move now. Past the middle and the top lane as they were 3x3. Surprised at how much 3-wide racing we've seen in the early going of today's race. Really see the back of Blaney's car starting to fishtail on the exit of these corners as well. Fresh tires will be put on the car very soon, so all these drivers are just hoping and praying that they can just make it to these final 9 laps. Busch trying to block. He does not want to go 2 laps down. Could be helping his teammate Hamlin out as well. Blaney gets around him finally. Busch can't cross him over. So there's Denny Hamlin. This is a battle to see if Hamlin can stay on the lead lap to the end of the stage. Down to the outside goes the 12 of Blaney. Boyer almost pulled up right in front of him. Stayed low enough. And Blaney has lapped the field here in stage 1. Unbelievable. Just simply getting through the lap traffic a lot better. Him and Hamlin are just really close on speed, but Hamlin got caught numerous times in heavy lap traffic. Now he will get the free pass here in a couple laps at the stage break. So he'll get the restart at the rear of the field, but he'll be back on the lead lap. And he will also beat Alex Bowman by 1 spot, so that will be 1 point gained on Bowman to start the night. Came in 4 points below him on the cutoff line. I'd be shocked if we saw anybody take the wave around simply because we haven't had a caution yet today. So these guys are on the same tires they've had since the start of the race. Over 120 laps worth at Bristol. I'd be shocked if anybody took the wave around. You never know, though, for those guys that are well below the cutoff line, like Eric Jones and Eric Almirola, that could be their really only decision of trying to get stage points tonight. In stage 2 is doing something like that and hoping for a quick caution. So I guess I wouldn't blame them completely if we saw drivers like them do that. I still don't expect it, though. White flag, one more lap. Here at Bristol in stage number 1, 125 laps in the books. We're a quarter of the way through the Bristol night race already. Here on NASCAR Heat 5. No cautions in stage 1, and Ryan Blaney will win the stage. That will be another playoff point to add to his resume here this season. Another stage win. And Ryan Blaney wins stage 1 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. So 2 seconds worth of damage. No adjustments on the 12 car here. It's got great long run speed too. And it doesn't look like anybody's going to take the wave around. Again, Chase Elliott, the only driver out of the race. Hamlin, as mentioned, will get the free pass and finishes 1 point ahead of Bowman, and Matt Kenseth, who is 17 points above the cutoff line, gets 0 stage points. So Bowman is now only 5 points behind him. So Bowman only... Sorry. I was going to say was that Bowman was 13 points behind Kenseth coming into the night. He's only now 5 points behind him. Green flag back in the air. Bowman's going to fight hard here with Blaney to try and get back on the lead lap. We'll see what he can do. And he's got the clean air. He's trying to hold the bottom and make sure Bowman doesn't get around him. And Bowman's going to have to predict what lane Blaney's going to take and try to do opposite. There's Kyle Busch. So nice to have fresh tires on the race car once again. I'd have to imagine for everybody out there after 125 laps at Bristol. That's just manhandling a race car at that point. And Bowman moves Blaney. He puts him in the wall. He moved him, he put him in the wall, he slides again. Keselowski trying to get around him and the 12. He already got around Blaney. Desperation move from Alex Bowman to get back on the lead lap. Now that Blaney's lost the track position, you can see him start to go backwards. Harvick's gotten around him. Logano's trying to work around him. Bowman's trying to get back around Keselowski, not for position. Brad's still in 4th. He's now 1 lap down instead of 2, and all these other guys trying to get their laps back. 3 wide there for a moment, and there was the contact between Custer and Blaney now. Custer slides up the track. Blaney trying to keep it off the wall. Jones gets by. Truex trying to get by. Oh, Truex tries to move his teammate. Oh my goodness. Little bump and run there to the left rear of the 20 car. No love lost at all in that moment. Between the 19 and the 20, Joe Gibbs Racing teammates. Jones on his way out the door next year as he'll be going to Richard Petty to drive the famed 43 car. But even still, Truex is pretty much a solid lock. He came in 69 points above the cutoff line. Mathematically to clinch, he only needed 7 points tonight. and he finished 4th in the last stage. So therefore, you do the math. Martin Truex Jr. has already clinched a spot in the playoffs. Or clinched a spot, I should say, in the round of 12 of the playoffs, virtue of points, so he doesn't have to win tonight. He is a lock no matter what happens the rest of the day. Portman Plays, welcome to the stream. Early going of stage 2 here at Bristol. And Hamlin is trying to close the gap as much as he can on Ryan Blaney in the early going of this stage. Hamlin, remember, restarted at the rear of the field. He got the free pass at the end of stage 1. He's about 5 to 5.5 seconds behind him, but there's not too many more lap cars in between the two as well, so Hamlin's got a decent amount of clean air. Like maybe 5 or 6 lap cars, and that's it. Hamlin's got literally nobody in front of him, at least for the next few laps. Intervals changing a little bit in the hands of Denny Hamlin. It's hard to say they intentionally do that in this game versus NASCAR Thunder, or at least the EA games in general, because they had a better rival system. There's no real rival system, especially in the championship mode here, so that's the only reason I didn't really plan on retaliating. Got a long race to go still as well. Blaney's already a lock for the next round, but simply trying to go for a win in this famed racetrack. He doesn't want to win at Bristol, especially when it comes to the night race. Kyle Busch trying to move Bobby Carter out of the way. I'm not sure how many laps he was stuck behind him, but obviously he got restless and a little bump and run to him. And Hamlin is now only 3 seconds behind Ryan Blaney. He is closing that gap. There's quite a bit of lap traffic all of a sudden in front of Hamlin, though, but as well in front of Blaney. Trying to pick a line here. The heavy lap traffic, he might just have to follow Kevin Harvick on the outside. Harvick inside the top 10. Bounce back performance, didn't run well at Richmond last night. Still well above the cutoff line. He had quite a few playoff points coming in. Just kind of pinched Blaney off there at the last second. Once again, though, talking in the third person line because we do the realistic broadcast on the channel, but just for my sake alone, knowing it's 500 laps at Bristol, knowing it's the night race, it's my favorite track of all time, I want to win here really badly tonight, so I really want to make sure that we can get to the end of this and get a full show in for you guys here today. Heavy lap traffic now. Not as heavy as what we were seeing at points in stage 1. Hamlin is 2 seconds off the race lead now. After coming from the rear of the field, getting the free pass. Harvick trying to go 3 wide up the middle now between Blaney and Reddick. Seems like the inside's moving a little bit. Things are stagnated out as well, though. Almirola kind of holding everybody up, as well as Ricky Stenhouse, and Hamlin now is less than a second off the lead. He's on the inside lane and charging up through the field. He's only really about 2 to 3 car lengths behind Blaney, but Harvick is kind of the pit car in between the 12 and the 11. Oh, little tap. Custer got loose. Blaney got right to the back of him. Now they're 3 wide. Not a lot of room for Blaney on the bottom. Trying to keep it off the black and trying to keep it up on the concrete surface of the racetrack. Concentration level has to be on a full display at this moment in the race. Heavy of lap traffic as we've seen from the 12 car all day. Oh, Harvick into the middle. Reddick checked up. Blaney tried to get underneath him. He couldn't do it, and now Hamlin is on the back bumper, and he'll be looking for the lead. And there he goes to the inside. Hamlin gets loose on the bottom. And Blaney hangs on. And now Hamlin to the middle. Denny Hamlin back out in front at Bristol. Blaney going to try the outside. Bottom wasn't going too well for him there. He's got to be careful though as the car loosens up on the longer run. Makes it a little bit harder to run the outside. Blaney back out in front that last time by at the line. Now the outside's working really well. So he found space to get up there. Bangs it off the wall though off of turn 4. Oh, 3x3 and David Reagan's on that outside lane right now kind of holding up Ryan Blaney. So he's stuck again. Nobody's really picking a lane here. Oh man, McLeod tried to take it up the middle, backed out of the gas, thought better of it. Truex finds a way back to the bottom. And he's got a little bit more room on the outside. And Bowman now trying to get away. He doesn't want to go a lap down. Big run by the 12 to the outside, but now McDowell's in the way. Blaney goes, I should say Bowman rather, goes up the middle. Almost makes contact with the 34. Rushes the wall. Bowman fades back. Blaney's getting really loose on the outside. We've seen that time and time again. Bangs it off the wall once more. And again off the wall as McDowell tries to go up the middle. Stenhouse caught in that third lane for a brief moment. Blaney trying to get back up there again. Barely kept it off the wall that time. I think there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Blaney is slowly starting to see the light. Oh, barely kept it off the wall again off of 4, and now there's a little bit more breathing room. My goodness. That was a very intense, very stressful situation there. They got through it. Hamlin's still stuck in the middle of it. Now he's 2 seconds off the lead again. Bowman goes a lap down, so he'll be the first driver lap down in third. Man, Hamlin still got a long ways to go to get through it. Wow, Blaney got loose off of turn 2 that time. A lot more clean room to run. Still no cautions for incident today. 75 laps to go in stage 2. 16 people watching right now. Thanks for everybody tuning in. The stream record is 39. It's been a while since we've gotten there, but we'll see. Maybe we can break it here today. It is the Bristol night race. Popular race for many NASCAR fans. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Only 5 people have hit the like button, so hit the like button as well. If you're enjoying the race, the commentary, the video in general, as well, just to simply help me out. Having a fun time, etc. Seems like you guys are enjoying this in the chat, though. Deserve 1,000 thanks, man. That is the goal for the meantime. I think we're at 675 coming into the stream here tonight. Trying to get to 1,000 by the time we get to the 1-year anniversary of the channel in mid-February. The weekend after the Daytona 500 is the ultimate goal. If we can get to 1,000 by then, that'd be awesome. That'd be an awesome first year, to be completely honest. I didn't think that was going to be obtainable 12 months ago. Well, I guess 10 months ago. From where I'm currently speaking, it'd be 10 months ago. Hamlin 9 seconds off the lead. He's still got about half the car still to pass. That heavy amount of lap traffic that Blaney got through. Blaney's about to catch that traffic again here in about 10 laps or so. It's thinned out a little bit, but not that much. But it's nice to see, though, that you guys are coming back for tonight's race. Greatly appreciate it. I don't know what's harder. We've done these a couple times. We've done 500-mile races both between here and Martinsville. I never seem to get to the end of the Martinsville races, though. For whatever reason, Bristol feels a little bit easier. I think it being a multi-groove racetrack definitely helps, at least in this game. Coke 600 is a pretty difficult one, too, just because, that race always seems to take about 3.5 hours at least to get through. Okay, we've only done it, 2 or 3 times now total? 3? You count the Thunder 04? No. No, we've gotten through it a couple times. NASCAR Heat 4, twice there. Twice on Heat 5, and then once on Thunder 04. So I guess we've done it a handful of times now. These are like one of those races where it's like, I got to clear my agenda the rest of the day because I'm mentally going to be drained by the end of it. Update on the point standings right now. Hamlin still in second. Bowman still in third. Nothing has changed much there since the start of the race. Outside of the fact Hamlin was leading a lot at the very beginning. Now he's second. Hamlin came in 4 points behind Bowman for that last spot in the playoffs. Remember, this is a cutoff race for the round of 16. Outscored him by 1 stage point in stage 1, and then Matt Kenseth was only 17 points above the cutoff line. He didn't get any stage points in stage 1. So he's only 5 points above Alex Bowman right now. Not sure where he's running currently. But if he's not going to get any stage points again, he could be in real danger of missing the playoffs himself, and both Hamlin and Bowman will make it. The next closest driver on points above the cutoff line was Kyle Busch. He was 27 points above, and he's been in the top 5 all night. So he should be good to go as well as far as making it to the next round. Pretty much everybody else that was above the cutoff line that already had a decent or comfortable lead, has been running pretty well, at least top 15 all day. So if they just run where they're at, they'll be all right. Chase Elliott DNF'd midway through stage 1. He was below the cutoff line coming into the race, so he has already been eliminated. Or I should say at the end of the race, he will be eliminated officially. And his championship hopes have been surrendered. And there we go. First caution of the race. My goodness. After 194 laps at Bristol, we finally get our first caution of the night. Bowman's going to get the free pass. Hamlin will be right there with Blaney. Man, oh man, oh man. Get a mental breather here for a second. Staying hydrated. Gotta get through this. It's not as bad as I make it seem sometimes, though. Especially when there's people watching, it makes it more entertaining. Hamlin wins the race off pit road. That 12 crew showed the lack of discipline on pit road at Richmond last night, and they showed it right there. Denny Hamlin to the lead here at Bristol. Bowman coming from the back of the pack. Truex, Busch trying to perhaps get to be one lap down. I believe they're both 2 laps down. Hamlin's got the clean air advantage now. Then he's trying to keep other cars from getting around him. 51 laps to go still in stage 1. Busch trying to get around Truex. That is a battle for 4th. Not sure who brought out that second caution, but whoever it is, somebody's out of the race. Or I should say first caution. We don't count the stage breaks as cautions here on the channel, by the way. Can't tell exactly who that is. If it is a playoff driver, I will definitely mention it. So we can try to figure out the point situation as we run still. It's really hard to tell who that is. Not like we can pause it either and try to figure it out in like race stats or anything because it's not available. We gotta wait until the next caution or at the stage break to try and figure out who it is. It looks like it might be John Hunter Nemechek, but I'm not entirely sure. It's just so hard to tell. We're going around this track too quickly. Hamlin is running away. Three and a half to almost 4-second lead over Ryan Blaney off the restart. Haven't seen Hamlin have that big of a lead since early in stage 1. Have to see if there's enough time for Blaney's car to come alive to try and catch him. It took him 69 laps at the start of the race to catch Hamlin. And we went green with less than 60 to go, so it's going to be tough. We'll see how much lap traffic is going to play a factor. I'm sure it will. It has all night. It will likely continue to be a factor all race long. Last 11 laps are for me. Thanks, man. Good luck. Bowman is 10 seconds. I guess he'd be 10 seconds behind Blaney He is almost in danger of going a lap down from where Hamlin's at. He's probably 2 to 3 seconds ahead of Hamlin. We're going to alternate to the different camera angles for the first time here tonight. Blaney's caught the back of the lap traffic. Hamlin's been in it for a little bit. Again, 4 to 4.5 seconds ahead of Ryan Blaney. And if he hasn't already caught... Oh, wow. DiBenedetto coming out of nowhere. Slides off the corner. Blaney stays high to try and avoid him, but DiBenedetto was able to make the save. One of his better racetracks statistically. Non-playoff driver is DiBenedetto. Missed the playoffs on this season. Still trying to go hard to the end of the year, maybe pick up that first career win, that long-awaited first career win. Oh, Blaney goes around into the inside wall hard. That is going to bring out a caution. That's our second of the race. Oh, man, I thought the night was over there for a second. Blaney got really loose. Pretty significant damage. He's only got 4 seconds of damage, though, somehow. Car just took off on him off of turn 2. Hit the inside retaining wall down the back straightaway. Bowman will get the free pass again after just going a lap down. It looks like a lot of drivers will be taking the wave around. Not too many laps left in the stage. It could be worth it. Some drivers are pitting that are a lap down. A lot of drivers that are 2 laps down are taking the wave around, so they'll only be a lap down now. Man, that doesn't take your breath away as a fan. I don't know what will, because I thought the race was over there. It was only 4 seconds of damage, too, so Blaney was able to repair the damage under the 5-second damage clock. Very, very fortunate. They'll restart from the lead, but he's on older tires, trying to get the track position. Green flag back in the air again. 30 laps to go in stage number 2. Can he hold Hamlin off to try and win the stage? Oh, and Harvick moves Blaney out of the way. And now Bell moves him out of the way, or at least tried to. My goodness. A lot of lap traffic now in between the 12 and the 11. That's going to be a factor here. Some of them on fresh tires, some on older tires. It's going to buy Blaney a little bit of time. But I'm not sure exactly how much time that's going to be able to hold him. Hamlin seemingly needs the point more than Blaney, though. He is battling Bowman for the last spot currently. Contact now with Newman. These guys are just not giving him any room. And here comes Hamlin. Big run on the outside by the 11. Blaney pulls up and blocks off of turn number 4. We've got a battle to the end of stage 2, ladies and gentlemen. Hamlin's going to get the run on the outside on corner exit. Blaney trying to drive it in deep on the bottom. It's not working. Here comes Kenseth. He took fresh tires. He's trying to get back around Hamlin. He could be racing Hamlin and Bowman for that last spot in the playoffs. He's currently 12th, so he's not in position to get any stage points. Once again, so trying to improve over the course of the night. Maybe he can get that race finish up. Blaney's got some catching up to do if he's going to catch Hamlin to the end of the stage. Again, didn't pit for tires there because I brought out the caution. Be an unfair advantage. Usually if I do bring out the caution, I don't like to pit for tires, but we did pit to repair the damage at least. Means it was under the 5-second damage clock. He's really hoping that Hamlin catches some heavy lap traffic. It's not impossible. We've seen it all night. 20 laps to go now in stage 2. We are almost halfway home here tonight at Bristol. Once we get to the end of the second stage, that will be the cross flags mark. Alex Bowman restarted at the rear of the field. Talk about a man on a mission right now. He has already gotten by the 12, or at least trying to get around the 12 of Blaney. Trying to get an extra point knowing Hamlin is leading the race and leading the stage. Bowman wants to get around Blaney. He also took tires under that last stop, but still, that is unbelievable how quickly he got through the traffic. And he's only 3 seconds behind Hamlin even. Battle for second. He's going to get around him, it looks like. No, not quite. He got caught behind the 7. Malicki, actually the 16 of Haley. Bowman has to go to the outside, loses a little bit of ground there to the 12 of Blaney. Hamlin 4 seconds ahead of the 12 car. Heavy lap traffic, though, right around Hamlin. Blaney sees it. He's trying to close the gap. We could have a 3-man race to the end of stage 2 all of a sudden. Oh, wow, Bowman shot the gap to the bottom. Blaney was going to diamond the corner off there, and Bowman beat him to it. Now, Blaney got caught behind the 38 of Nemechek. A little bit of contact there. Slowing him up a little bit more. Under 3 seconds back now. Bowman's nearly 2 seconds off of Denny Hamlin. Laps are winding down. 11 to go this time by in stage 2. Hamlin stuck on the outside. He's got 2 cars on the outside in front of him and 3 cars lined up on the bottom underneath him. Hamlin now tries to go up the middle in between Reddick and Newman. Got closed off. Bowman and Blaney are coming. Lap traffic not playing into Denny Hamlin's favor late. He needs to finish ahead of Bowman. Now the inside line's moving right around where Hamlin is at. 9 to go in the stage. And he transfers to the bottom, 3 wide. Bowman slowly losing the 11. 2.5 behind him. Trey, welcome to the stream. Austin Dillon pulled up right in front of the 12 car. Blaney wanted to go high. Dillon pulled up right in front of him. Still 2.5 seconds off the 11. It's not over yet if Hamlin catches heavy lap traffic here. Bowman now 2 seconds back. 6 to go, stage 2. Heavy lap traffic Hamlin was in the middle of. He has gotten through. Bowman is caught now on the outside. Blaney is trying to charge on the bottom. Oh, Bowman almost made contact with the 51 of Gase. Harvick transfers to the bottom. Bowman hung out to dry on the top. He falls back to 3rd. Little contact between the 62 and the 12 there. And Hamlin now 3.5 seconds ahead once again. Bowman just lost a spot. That was a point late here if he can't get back around Blaney to the end of stage 2 now. 3 to go. Oh, Bowman's caught. He's still got about 4 cars in between him and the 12. Hamlin is caught behind the 7 of Josh Bilicki. 2.5 seconds. Blaney was about a full second faster that last lap. Now he's caught behind Justin Haley. Blaney is charging hard. He's a 1.5 seconds back. I don't know if he's going to have enough time. Side-by-side lap traffic now in front of the 11 of Hamlin. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go at stage 2. But it looks like Hamlin is going to be able to hang on, and Blaney tried to fight hard to the very end. And Denny Hamlin has won stage 2 here at Bristol. Blaney second, Bowman third. Hamlin now 1 point behind Bowman going into the final stage of the race for that last spot on points. Matt Kenseth didn't get any stage points there because he finished 12th. So now all of a sudden, do the math here. So here's the playoff cut line going into the final stage. Alex Bowman is above the cutoff line. He is only 1 point ahead of Hamlin. Hamlin now is 2 points ahead of Matt Kenseth, if I do my math correctly. Yes, he would be 2 points ahead of Kenseth. Oh my goodness, that is close. So Hamlin 2 points ahead of Kenseth. Last driver in is Hamlin. Bowman is only 3 points ahead of Kenseth. And Kenseth is now the first driver out. And as for Eric Jones and Eric Almirola, it is a win or bust at this point. They are multiple laps down. Lenny trying to keep the track position here. Staying out of the pits. Everybody still has to pit one more time. It has gotten even darker. The green flag is back in the air. Final stage underway. And by the way, Truex now all of a sudden is back on the lead lap. Martin Truex Jr. back on the lead lap. Hamlin leads. Oh, Bowman! Boyer! And around goes Logano! Blaney slides, huge crash! Cars piling up, Harvick, Ty Dillon involved. Oh, man. Boyer did not clear the 12 of Blaney off of turn 2. He kind of stuffed him in the wall. Boyer got in the wall too. Blaney bounced off the wall back into Joey Logano. Logano goes around, and when he came back up the track, he turned Blaney back around as well. Harvick, heavy damage. Ty Dillon has heavy damage, and there's the big one at Bristol. A huge pile up down the back straightaway into turn 3. And now over 5 seconds worth of damage for Blaney that time around. And that is not going to be able to be repairable the rest of the race all of a sudden. Green flag back in the air. Here we go again. He got a good launch on the bottom of the track. Now Brad Keselowski's back on the lead lap in 5th. Big slide up the track. Hamlin back to the lead again. Huge damage to the front of Ryan Blaney's car. That is going to hinder his progress the rest of the night. All because Clint Boyer thought he was clear off of turn 2 on Blaney, and he was not. That 12 car is really tight now in corner entry. The heavy amount of damage to the front of the race car. Well, things just got even more entertaining and more wild here tonight at Bristol all of a sudden. That last big accident was also our 3rd accident tonight. 3rd caution for incident tonight. Truex has just moved up past Blaney. He's working on Bowman for 2nd. Matt DiBenedetto now is also back on the lead lap. Boyer again has just put Blaney in the wall a 2nd time, and around goes David Reagan. Oh, multiple cars involved. Blaney goes around. Boyer's around again, and we have another caution. That is the 2nd time Boyer has practically wrecked the 12 of Blaney in a matter of about 10 laps. Busch is going to get the free pass. He's pitting for tires. McLeod's going to pit as well, but he's still a lap down. Timmy Hill was involved in the accident. He's got damage. McDowell's got damage. A lot of cars with damage now, and this is starting to get a little ugly here at Bristol. And Blaney's pitting for tires now. Boyer has just basically wrecked him on 2 straight occasions. Blaney's still running, but he can't repair the damage. This is giving more guys an opportunity now to have a shot to win this race as they're getting back in the lead lap. Hamlin restarts from the lead. Green flag back in the air again. Blaney was able to save it that time. He got clipped by Boyer, but he didn't make any extra contact. So that's why we pitted for tires that time. Probably should have loosened it up too. Blaney's still really tight as he bounces it off the wall. Hamlin slides high. 3 wide for the lead underneath him. Here comes Bowman on the bottom. Truex thought about going up the middle. Backed off. Boyer again all over the back of the 12. Meanwhile, Alex Bowman to the lead. Matt DiBenedetto to second place. Trying to get his long-awaited first career win. How about doing it at Bristol? Probably his best racetrack statistically. About had a stroke there. Oh, man. Been a long night. Again, Blaney just gets really tight. That damage sustained from the last 2 accidents. Mostly the one prior to the last one. He didn't really have any damage from the last one. He kind of evaded it as best as he could. Oh, Kenseth! Into Blaney and into Boyer. Boyer got a piece of the wall. Kenseth will contact back with the 12 again. A little bump and run action. Almost 300 laps in the books tonight at Bristol. Caution. Cautions are breeding cautions late. 4 tires again, topping off on fuel, at least for the 12 of Blaney. These guys still can't make it on fuel to the end. BJ McLeod's back on the lead lap now. He'll get the free pass. And a wedge adjustment coming for the 12 of Blaney. They're going to take 1 round of wedge out of the car. The car is extremely tight with the heavy damage in the front of the race car. Bowman and DiBenedetto are staying out of the pits. So that's interesting. Kenseth's still in 12th. And again, coming into the final stage, Hamlin 3 points above the cutoff, Bowman 3 points above the cutoff line, Hamlin 2 points above the cutoff line. And Kenseth is 2 points below it, below Hamlin. 3 below Bowman. Green flag back in the air again. Blaney wins the race off pit road, restarts on the bottom. Remember the top 2 on older tires. Oh, contact for the lead, 4 wide for the lead through 1 and 2. DiBenedetto's in the wall. Blaney saves it off in turn 2 to hang on for second, and it's Truex in the lead. Truex already locked into the next round, virtue of points. He's mathematically locked up at least, but he's looking for that second win of the year. 5 more playoff points and a prestigious win in the Bristol night race. Blaney's car still a little tight. He's trying desperately to keep it off the wall right now, but it is not handling well at all with the damage to the front of the race car. He's going to have to deal with that for about the final 200 laps. Bowman, a little bump and a run. Bowman goes around. Tries to save it, he can't. He saves it. Somehow kept it off the wall. We get another caution. He tried to put the bump and run to Blaney's left rear, but Bowman was the one that lost control. He goes around. He did keep it off the wall somehow. It looks like he's going to pit anyway. Probably burn his tires out. DiBenedetto's going to hit pit road as well. McLeod's going to hit pit road. Harvick's going to get a free pass, but he's only going to get one of his 2 laps back in 9th. My goodness, cautions. Again, breeding cautions. That's our 4th of the final stage alone already. And now our 6th of the night. My, oh my. Truex will restart from the lead. A little bit fresher tires from 6th, 7th, and 8th. Green flag back in the air. Blaney tries to take off there on the restart again. 3 wide for the lead again. Hamlin to the bottom. Goes from 5th to 1st. Busch bangs it off Blaney. Blaney off the wall. Logano tries to save it. Another caution. This is getting sloppy. My gosh. These guys can't run more than 5 laps without getting another caution. Harvick's going to get back on the lead lap. A lot of lap cars are going to pit now. These guys still can't make it on fuel to the end of the race. Again, that heavy damage came from a big accident down the back straightaway. Clint Boyer did not clear Blaney off of turn 4. And kind of self-cleared himself, put both of them in the wall, and they just piled up behind. Logano got a huge piece of it. And Blaney obviously probably got the worst of it. He's still running, but a lot of damage to the front of the car. Green flag back in the air again. Another great launch. And again clears them. Kyle Busch to the lead. Trying. Banging off one another. Go to the 21 of the 18. Busch slides high into the 21 of DiBenedetto. Matt DiBenedetto out in front here at Bristol. BMNJ, welcome to the stream. Maybe not for long, though. Busch is still trying to go for the lead. On the inside, Hamlin trying to make sure whatever he does, he has to beat Bowman by just 1 position. That's all he has to beat him by. Hamlin owns the tiebreaker. Hamlin owns the tiebreaker on Bowman. He just has to beat him by 1 spot. As long as Kenseth at least doesn't get back racing with the other 2 drivers he's trailing currently. Or if we get someone else below the cutoff line to win. But again, I don't think Almirola or Jones is getting back into this. I mean, we just have to take wedge out of it. That's the only adjustment we made. We took a full round of wedge out of the race car to try and loosen it up a little bit. You can go up on air pressure too. But the air pressure is going to build up, and we have had a lot of long green flag runs tonight. Not the final stage, obviously, but in the first 2 stages, we had a lot of long green flag runs. So the air pressure is going to build up. It's automatically going to get a little bit looser in the longer run, but it's way, way too tight. I mean, that's why you keep seeing me get into the wall, and that's not really like me. I usually keep it about as clean as I can. Obviously, this final stage has just been crazy. No, I'm not going to ride. I don't know what stunt he pulled. He made a clean pass on me. I tried to keep it off the 21. We were just 3 wide for the lead there. I'm struggling with the beaten and battered race car. It's kind of hard to keep it straight, especially when we're 3 wide and I'm sandwiched in the middle. Brad Keselowski is just taking the lead all of a sudden. He hasn't led a single lap all night. He started at the rear of the field. He was a lap down. He was actually 2 laps down. Remember, he was one of those bunch of cars that took the wave around at the stage break. And then not only that, was able to get the free pass with all these cautions in the final stage. Had 7 of them in the race now. And 5 of them in the final stage alone. should say 6 of them in the final stage alone. We only had 1 caution in stage 2 and 0 in stage 1. So the first half of the race was a quick race pace, a lot of green flag racing. And it was good green flag racing though, and now all of a sudden this race has just turned a complete 180 once we hit the final stage. I think not only the drama of Bristol itself has kicked in, but the drama of simply the playoffs and knowing it's a cutoff race has sinked in. Well, Blaney wasn't clear that time. He tried to slide job ahead of Busch. Oh, Busch still couldn't control it. My goodness. Heavy lap traffic now as they have caught the back marker cars at the front of the field. Second driver out of the race is Cole Custer. I did see that under one of the cautions. Cole Custer's out of the race. He wasn't in the playoffs, so not factored there. At least as we speak. And we are just over 300 laps complete at Bristol. What has just been an absolutely chaotic last 50 to 60 laps. Well, if you wanted a show here for a little Thursday night short track racing on the channel, you came to the right place. I should say on YouTube in general, you came to the right place. No, we've had a couple big crashes, but they were just strictly pile-ups down the back straightaway after the carnage in front of the pack on a restart. And everything's just so tight with the double file restarts that they couldn't get away from one another. Blaney's going to make a pass on DiBenedetto for 6 as Matty D was caught behind the 13 of Ty Dillon. Now the next question is there going to be any way for Blaney to bring this beaten and battered race car to victory lane or even back to the front of the field? He's running 6, but we only have 9 cars on the lead lap. So it's not really saying too much as far as how much speed is still in the race car. And he does have a little bit fresher tires than some of the drivers on the track as well that are on the lead lap. No green flag pit stops so far tonight. We've had long green flag runs, but because of the stage breaks, we never had to make a green flag pit stop so far. It's still possible because these guys still have to make one more stop before the end of the race. Everybody's looking to be about 20 to 30 laps short on fuel if we did go that far on a green flag run. Danielle Minura Lopez, welcome to the Suturian from Colombia. Welcome. Yeah, more specifically, Roll Tide is just the catchphrase for, as mentioned, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama is a university in the United States, college. So he's referring to their sports programs. Oh man, a little bit of a hit off the wall again, 3 wide to the outside. Again, we haven't seen Blaney get the wall too many times till the final stage, but the car's still a little on the tight side. Not going to loosen it up anymore, though, because this car, if we get a long green flag run, again, will start to slowly loosen up on its own. We'll just have to wait and see if he's going to have that same long run speed as he has up to this point. Yes, indeed, Hamlin now back to 6th, and he is fading. Oh! Blaney trying to keep it off Half. 3 wide as McDowell, or sorry, not McDowell, but McLeod went to the outside. And Half is just trying to stay out of the way and not get sandwiched in the middle. Here comes Hamlin right back after the 12 again. Huge lap traffic now right where the top 3 are at. Blaney almost cleared the 78, not quite. Now he should be able to, as they'll use the 32 car of Corey LaJoie as a pick. One of the lap cars. Yeah, again, I'm just a Packers fan because, well, just the way I stated that. No, I have family members that grew up as, or that have been Green Bay Packer fans. So between that and my dad got me a Brett Favre jersey when I was younger, so I've just kind of carried on as a Packers fan since I've been a kid. Came down into the 24 there. It's getting a little bit desperate as we're getting later into this race. Hamlin still all over the back of the 12 of Blaney. He needs to beat Bowman by 1 point. If Kenseth closes the gap on both Hamlin and Bowman himself. Again, Kenseth 2 points behind the cutoff line on Denny Hamlin into the final stage. He came in 17 points above the cutoff line, but because Hamlin and Bowman have scored a ton of stage points tonight and Kenseth scored 0, that is why Kenseth is facing a deficit. Blaney's in 5th place again. He's about 5 seconds off the lead from his teammate Keselowski. Keselowski's trying to win his 2nd race of this round of the playoffs. As well, Blaney is as well. Blaney's trying to go back-to-back, so maybe Penske could get the sweep in the round as a team. Winning all 3 races. Big move there to the bottom of both Hamlin. Oh, contact with the 36. Reagan gets a little loose. Keeps it going straight. 3 wide with the lap traffic still. Hamlin going to get back around Truex. Blaney gets around Truex as well. And now up to 3rd. And he's only trailing Bowman by about 1.5 seconds. How about Joey Gase having a really, really good run tonight? In 16th. Oh, wow. Then he really lost control of the car a little bit. Off of turn 4, Hamlin was able to take control to the bottom and make the pass for position. Hamlin 3 wide underneath both the 10 of Almirola, who keeps going backwards, and Ryan Preece. So it's looking like We already know Elliott's eliminated after he's DNF tonight. He will not make it to the next round of the playoffs. Eric Almirola and Eric Jones are a must-win situation here. They're both outside the top 10 and multiple laps down. Their season is probably done as far as their championship hopes as well. Of course, Eric Jones won the Daytona 500 at the start of the year. Really his highlight of the season. Almirola had a win at Atlanta that put him into the playoffs early in the year as well. They're both not running well as we speak. .162 to go, but trust me, these laps go by quickly around the world's fastest half mile. Get about 4 laps in nearly a minute around this racetrack. We've already clicked away almost 350 of it. No contact there. Oh, and Blaney goes around in the gas, saves it on the bottom of the track. No caution. We stay green, now we get a caution. Now caution is out with 161 to go. That was a big save by Blaney. He just kind of looped it right around off of turn 2, clipped a little bit too much of the apron. And that's all it takes. Harvick fell a lap down again, so he'll get the free pass a second time to get back on the lead lap. Kenseth currently in 13th, 3 laps down. That's going to be tough for him to try to beat Hamlin by 2 spots. Or Bowman by 3. And that is now our 8th caution of the race. Gonna pit for tires because even though I brought the caution out, but at the same time too, I did save it. We didn't make any contact with anything or anyone. Green flag back in the air. Hamlin will lead the field to the green. Final pit stop of the race. Still heavy damage though to the 12 car. It's gonna be tough for him to win tonight. Oh, contact! Bowman tried to go 3 wide up the middle. That didn't work. He's still loose. A little more contact now with, I believe, BJ McLeod, who's jumped into the top 5. Keselowski going for the lead on Denny Hamlin now. Thanks, Tim. Welcome to the stream as well. Almost off the wall again. It's really tight early in the run with the damage. Crazy night here at Bristol. Keselowski leads. Hamlin. And he needs a win more than anybody else right now. And when everything resets for the second round, Hamlin's going to get that points cushion back. So even though he's barely going to make his way out of this round, remember he came in as the number 2 seed into the playoffs and the second most playoff points for finishing second in the regular season, 9 there, a couple wins on the year, quite a few stage wins. BJ McLeod is going after it right now in 4th place. He's closing in on Truex for 3rd. He's been close to winning a couple times this year. He is not in the playoffs, though, so he's the highest running non-playoff driver. Bowman's starting to fade once again. Christopher Bell trying to work his way back up here. He's been non-existent. I was expecting Bell to have a lot better of a time today, especially after winning the first Bristol race this season. Barely kept it off the wall. Countdown is down to about 149 to go now. And he's battling side by side with Christopher Bell. Keselowski going for that third win of the season, and as mentioned, again, looking for that second win of this round alone. The round of 12, the racetracks at least include Las Vegas, Talladega, and the Charlotte Roval. So it's always nice to stack up more playoff points, even for Brad. Never know what can happen there. Bell and Blaney have been side by side for every bit of about 5 or 6 laps now. It's insane. Blaney's hitting his marks about as well as he can with the damage on the outside, and Bell's hanging in there on the bottom despite being a couple laps down. Still in a comfortable position to point his way into the next round as long as he just makes it to the end of the race. Still only 2 drivers out of the race despite the fact we've had 9 cautions for incident. The record on the channel is 13, so it's not impossible to get there. I didn't think we were going to be anywhere close to 9, honestly, with the way we only had 1 caution in the entire first half of the race for incident. We've had 8 of them since the second half of the race started about 100 laps ago, a little over 100 laps ago. Hamlin has gotten to the lead on Keselowski. Heavy lap traffic has hindered Brad Keselowski now, and he has fallen, in fact, back to 4th because of it. So Brad's really starting to go backwards, and Hamlin's starting to propel himself once again, showing that speed that he had coming into the playoffs. He's had bad luck in the last 3 races, 2 DNFs in that stretch at Daytona and Richmond. Benedetto was able to get back around Blaney. Blaney just full-on sent it into 3 to get around Carter. Accidentally, of course, but a little bit more damage to the front of the car, not something that he needs. BJ McLeod out in front with 136 to go now at Bristol. Unbelievable. First time he's led all night. Bowman now out in front again. First time in a while he's led. At least it feels like a while. I guess it was earlier in the stage. Well, it was about 100 laps ago, I guess. Bristol standards maybe not as much, but there's so many comers and goers all of a sudden. So many drivers have led laps today. Drivers who have led laps include Truex, Blaney, McLeod now, Keselowski's led laps, Hamlin, Bowman, Kyle Busch has led laps. Kenseth led laps at the very beginning of the day when he started on the pole. To Benedetto's led laps. And we've probably had right around 10 drivers lead laps here tonight. And it's just tough to tell who's going to be the one to go to victory lane so far, which makes this even more unpredictable. Andrew Hollenbach, welcome to the stream. Cloud trying to spoil the whole playoff fields party here tonight. That's what he's doing in the lead. Suarez got close at Richmond. He ran the top 5 all day, finished 6th. Now here at Bristol, you see BJ McLeod running up towards the front. Was about to Blaney's line away, still did. Kyle Busch is closed back in on the 12 of Blaney again. Just a reminder, these guys are good to go on fuel to the end of the race. After that 9th caution came out, right around 160 to go. We don't know how far the tires can go, though. That is something else that we got to monitor throughout the rest of the race. Will the tires be able to make it 160 laps? If we did somehow stay green to the end. Oh, McLeod gets loose in the center of the corner, and around he goes, right around Blaney, into the wall. Oh, gets drilled by Stenhouse. Huge contact back there. We stayed green. I don't know why there wasn't a caution. Blaney evades it to the outside. Huge crash. McLeod still parked on the bottom. Still no caution. Sorry, McDowell, rather. Parked on the bottom. Still no caution. Blaney's able to get around Truex and Benedetto now to move back into the top 5. McLeod's just sitting there. There's still no yellow. Trying to make his way to pit road. Now he's on the racetrack in front of a ton of cars. Everybody's checking up. Code red. Look out. My goodness. That'll make your heart skip a beat. What is going on? Keselowski's lost a spot now. He's back to 5th. Blaney is up to 4th. McDowell finally makes it to pit road. We somehow stay green. I don't know how there wasn't a caution in the last 3 laps because of that mess, but they made it one way or another. My goodness. Oh. Slight contact there. Brendan gone. Hamlin's got a lot of clean room ahead of him to roam. Got a pretty good lead right now. He's about 2 seconds ahead of BJ McLeod all of a sudden. Keselowski just made contact with his teammate. Harvick took it 3 wide underneath and didn't give Brad much room. I think this race is going down in the instant moment of being one of the instant classics on the channel for 2020. My gosh. Especially just the craziness that's ensued. And that whole Michael McDowell and Ricky Stenhouse incident back there just goes to show what the unpredictability of this racetrack and this race has brought tonight. Especially in the last 150 laps or so. Oh, wow, Blaney got really sideways off turn 2. Keeps it going. I just randomly jumped around on him. That's how he spun off of turn 2 earlier in the race. Just randomly gave out on him. No, he did clip the apron. When that happened, he didn't clip the apron that time, though. The only thing that can top what's going on so far is if we have a crazy last couple laps in this race, bring out a wild finish, which I think we're capable of having. That's what it's feeling like. It's what it's shaping up to be. It's just a fight to the finish, if and when we get there. We're almost 400 laps down to the 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway and about 2 hours into this race. He's just not closing in on Hamlin at all right now. There's Stenhouse still running after piling it into Michael McDowell. A little loose off turn 2. Because he doesn't have as much damage as he does. I'm pretty sure it was Stenhouse back there that hit him. I saw the big Kroger paint scheme, blue paint scheme on the front of the car. The only other thing is maybe Ryan Preece has the same scheme in this race. Haven't really noticed. We haven't really been around Ryan Preece a lot today. He might have the same paint scheme, so it could have been Preece that hit him. McDowell's out of the race, though. He hasn't came back in. Another non-playoff driver. Alex Bowman, BJ McLeod side by side for second. Caught in heavy lap traffic. Blaney is there now. It's a 3-car battle for second. Blaney is willing this basically wrecked race car towards the front. He hasn't been in the lead since the incident happened at the beginning of stage 3. He hasn't led a lap in the final stage yet. And Blaney's up to second. 5.5 off of Hamlin. Coming up on 100 to go. The most important 100 laps of tonight's race. It's been a survival of the fittest kind of race throughout. I'm sure it will only be more of that as the race gets closer and closer to its end. There it is, 100 to go. I think the only other thing we can have outside of a crazy finish to this race is like Hamlin or Bowman have been running well all night to try and stay above the cutoff line by inches. For Hamlin's sake, he was below it coming in. He has just pulled out one of his better performances this season and has pointed his way above before we even got into the final stage. And now, I mean, just imagine if one of those guys just blows up or something like that. I mean, that would just be insane to add into the drama that we've already had up to this point. Four-second lead still for Hamlin. Still at least a decent amount of time. I just don't know if this 12 car is going to kick in. We don't know if the tires are going to make it all the way to the end of the race as well. These guys are barely good to go on fuel. And they're actually burning quite a bit. They were about 15 to 20 laps to the good when they pitted. Now they're only about 10 laps to the good. We've got that to worry about yet, too. I didn't think we were going to have to worry about fuel, but the tires, that right front in particular, at least on Blaney's car, it's going to be interesting if it's going to go 160 laps. These guys have only gone 125 laps on tires, and that was because we didn't have a single caution in stage 1, so they went stage 1 caution free, and that was 125 laps long. Ooh, wow, Kurt Busch not giving Blaney a lot of room there. Had to go to the outside, but then he got caught behind Austin Dillon. There's Ryan Preece. So he's running the Cottonelle car. He's not running the Kroger paint scheme, and he doesn't have a lot of damage either. I think Stenhouse was the one that hit him. There's not another blue car in the field that has an all-blue paint scheme. I mean, Chase Elliott, but he's out of the race anyway. It had to have been Stenhouse that hit him. They probably just didn't add enough of the damage model, or he didn't hit him as hard as I thought he did. It looked like he absolutely obliterated him back there. Wow, Truex is a lap down in 8th all of a sudden. Hamlin's lapping quite a few guys once again, kind of like we saw him do back in stage 1 before Blaney even took the lead for the first time today. $90 to go. There's Hamlin, caught in heavy lap traffic again. They're 2x2 in front of him. I mean, he's just got nowhere to go. And Blaney is coming right for him. Now he tries to go up the middle, 3 wide. I don't know if that's going to work. Contact between the top 2. Blaney is out in front. Hamlin just tries to move Logano out of the way now and trying to get back to the lead, and he does. That's one way to do it. Just move your rival out of the way and get back to the front. Blaney's just kind of sitting around. He's waiting right now. Hamlin's trying to go 3 wide up the middle. The top lane's just not there either. Blaney starts just too loose on the long run. He's trying to keep it off the wall, keep it off of Hamlin. Now he gets in the wall again. Stenhouse goes high. Oh! Reagan, contact with Blaney. Stenhouse loose. Hamlin slowly getting away again. Hamlin transfers back up to the outside. Big run by Blaney in the center of 3 and 4. He gets loose. Contact with Suarez, 3 wide again. Suarez is still loose. Blaney's having a hard time trying to hang on to his car, and around he goes again. Hard into the wall. That is going to be our 9th caution of the race. Oh, sorry, 10th caution of the race. Lost count. 10 cautions. Blaney goes around. He's got more damage. Unbelievable. Can't pit because we brought out the caution too. How the 12 car is still running right now is beyond my imagination. That is insane. $84 to go. Is this going to be the final restart? Hamlin was in the lead at the time of the yellow. Blaney was trying to chase him down. And that's the problem. I mean, he just can't run the outside. I think he got lucky. He hit the back of the car first, not the nose of the car, and that's why he's still running. Green flag back in the air. Hamlin leads the field to the green with 81 to go. Blaney trying to hang in there. On the outside. Hamlin on the bottom. The rear bumper damage might loosen it up a little bit more. Look at the run the 12 car's got. This is insane. 17 seconds worth of damage. Can't repair it under a 5-second damage clock. He's somehow still running, and he's going to take the lead into turn 2. Turn 3, rather. Blaney out in front with 79 laps to go here at Bristol. After the 3rd time he's been caught up in an accident tonight. But now he's just got to hang on to this piece of junk the rest of the night. Oh my gosh. We're going to alternate to the different camera angles one final time today. Take you through the different angles of damage around this 12 car. Really got to feather the throttle here. Now we just got to make sure the right front's going to make it all the way to the end. And you wonder if the right front blowing is going to end the night for Blaney if it does. Puts these guys a little bit closer to the end on fuel with that last caution. They ran 4 laps under the yellow. really see how much more Blaney's out of the gas in the center of the corner with how loose the car is, trying to keep it from turning around on him. It's going to be a handful for these final 80 laps. He's sideways all the way down the back straightaway. Look at all the tire marks in the center of 3 and 4. That tells you how many cautions we've had. 10 of them per incident. So many drivers have been involved in so many different accidents as well. Surprisingly, everybody missed Blaney under that last one. He's going to spun himself out on the outside. It's going to be tough for him to pass on the top the rest of the night if he has to. He's able to get the launch on the restart on the outside, though. Now we'll have to see what lap traffic will bring. Blaney trying to bring it home here tonight at Bristol, a track where he has been pretty much cursed at most of his career, despite actually running really well there. And it's another one of those cases here tonight. Gotta be careful down there. Oh, wow, 3 wide, too. He doesn't want to run the outside, though. Tried to earlier. He's still sliding around the corners. Timmy Hill finally backs out and lets him go. Now he's side by side with Almirola. That'll help a little bit. Now he clears Eric Almirola off at turn 4. His car's only going to get looser and looser over the course of the run. So it might be all right now, decent on speed, but he's going to struggle to get around these lap cars because of the handling of his own race car. Hamlin might run him back down. Maybe not even Hamlin. Keselowski is a half second now behind Denny. Denny sandwiched 3 wide in the middle of lap traffic. Bowman is not that far either behind Keselowski. We still got 67 to go at Bristol. How this car has not crashed out, man. It's insane. Insane. I mean, there's not too many other times you can have this much damage on a race car in NASCAR heat and still be running. And because we're on a short track too, the oil temperatures are actually staying down because there's not a lot of on throttle time. With it being a short track, so that's helping with that aspect. If we were on an intermediate track or bigger, we would be probably blowing up because our engine would be running too hot. Unbelievable. He's on the outside, very treacherous position here. Continues to try and get around the lap traffic. Passing Balicki and Stenhouse. I mean, it really sucks that in this game, when you go to victory lane, the damage model doesn't replicate from what you finished the race as, so it's going to go in as a clean car, but take some mental pictures of what this thing looks like to the end of the night, adding to probably the instant classic if we do go to victory lane. Even if we don't, I mean, it's just hectic. What a crazy race. I mean, the back bumper on that damage indicator is just blinking red. The right side's red. The front of the car's red. The radiator's damaged. There's a hole in the radiator of the race car. Can you tell this car has been racing over 400 laps around a short track tonight? Oh, man, there he goes off the wall again. I don't know. I mean, we might have like a checkup in front of us and we might run into the back of a car too hard. And that might end the night at this point. We don't know how much damage this car could take from what it's already taken. 4-second lead nearly on Denny Hamlin. Another hit off the wall. We'll get another caution. It's highly likely he's going to take tires. At least to help with the handling a little bit. But look at the lap times, how much they've even slowed down. Blaney's fastest lap of the night is a 15.992, which wasn't quite as fast as he ran in qualifying. Fastest lap ever is a 15.798. That last lap was a 17.2. The lap before that was a 17.6. I mean, he's having to back the pace down so much. Granted, on top of the damage as well, just slowing him down. Right front still trying to make it to the end as well. 3 wide to the top again. Oh, wow, barely made it out of there. I think he blatantly grazed the wall down the straightaway, but that was about it. The transition from the banking to the straightaway is just the most treacherous part right now for Blaney. 3 wide to the top again. Almost got into the 20 of Jones. So hard not to overcorrect it on corner exit as well. $50 laps to go at Bristol. 4 seconds is the gap between now Keselowski, who is in second, and Ryan Blaney. It has dwindled slightly. Trying to go to the outside and follow Ryan Newman now. They're side by side right in front of him, and Newman's running really wide as well. Big drive on corner entry. At least, I mean, Blaney can drive it into the corners fine. It's just really loose center off. The corner entry is not bad, despite the damage. It's almost like the heavy rear bumper damage is overcompensated for the tightness we had with the front bumper damage earlier. And loose is faster than tight, and I think that's why this car has kind of increased on speed a little bit, because it's balanced it out a little more. But it's almost wrecking loose, that's the problem. So it is an absolute handful. It's one of those things right now where Blaney doesn't want to see a caution and bunch the field back up again, but at the same time, he could take fresh tires. But if everybody else pits for tires, then he's probably going to be screwed the rest of this race. I don't see how he'd be able to hang on. He hasn't had a short-run car all night as it is. And he's having a tiptoe around this racetrack currently. 44 to go. 19 people watching right now. It has been just a crazy race. I mean, that you can't really put it any way else. Here tonight at Bristol, 11 cautions total for incident. 10 of them in the final stage. Blaney's car's beaten and battered right now because of our 5-second damage clock. Can't repair damage if we have more than 5 seconds. We have 17 seconds worth, but this car's still running. We haven't DNF'd somehow. Oh, might have spoke too soon. Had to basically stop the car just to keep it from spinning around that time. About a 6.5 second lead over Keselowski. Penske running 1-2 at the front of the field, followed by Bowman, Hamlin, and Kyle Busch. We're all in the top 5. Hamlin is slowly fading now. Coming into the final stage, the playoff bubble battle. This is, again, the cutoff race for the round of 16. Alex Bowman, 3 points to the good. Denny Hamlin, 2 points to the good. Matt Kenseth was -2 on Hamlin. And obviously -3 on Bowman. Kenseth's been outside the top 10 most of the night. He's multiple laps down versus Hamlin and Bowman on the lead lap. So pretty much as long as they can just make it to the end of the race, they should be able to advance their way in. There isn't anybody that is outside the cut line that's in contention to win tonight's race. Elliott's already eliminated because he's out. Then Eric Jones and Eric Almirola have been pretty much outside the top 10 all night as well, and they're even further behind Kenseth. Yeah, there's a good chance we're going to tighten it up a little bit if we get a caution as well. As long as it's not with too many laps left, that's the only thing. And how many drivers are on the lead lap? Right now, there's only 6. McLeod's the last driver on the lead lap. 3 wide to the top. Blaney kind of sends it in 1 and 2. Trying to put McLeod a lap down. Actually got it to stick well on the outside that time, believe it or not. .35 to go. 8-second lead, 8.5. Joey Gase up to 14th. What a night for him. Haven't talked about him much, but having a quite a good run in that car. Another underfunded team running towards the front. Not as well as McLeod has been. Leading laps, BJ has, and just now went a lap down in 6th. Oh, wow. And he loose down the front straightaway, trying to catch the car now into turn 1. 30 laps to go at Bristol. 8.5-second lead. Denny Hamlin back to second. He got around both Keselowski and Bowman over the last couple laps. Kyle Busch up to third. He hasn't led laps since the very beginning of the race. Almost took the lead away from DiBenedetto earlier when he was in the lead midway through stage 3. Hamlin's closing the gap. He's 8 seconds back now. Oh, wow. Blaney loose again. Barely keeps it off for Priest in the 37. We have enough time to catch Blaney, though, and can he keep the pace up that he's running currently? Gonna be the question. By the way, we have 4 drivers out of the race now. I don't even know who the 4th driver is that's out. It might have been the... I don't know who it is. Oh, tough break. Matt DiBenedetto's out of the race. Man, he was in the top 10 all night. We just mentioned that he was leading laps early in stage 3. Led laps in stage 1 as well. Tough break for Matt DiBenedetto as he has blown an engine late here at Bristol. And that's been the story of his season. Just bad luck, and that's what kept him out of the playoffs. Hamlin now about 7.5 off the lead. Just over 20 to go. Heavy lap traffic coming up in front of Ryan Blaney, and he can't really hustle around those guys either with as badly beat up as his car is. So that moves Kenseth up 1 more spot. He's up to 12, but he still needs to beat Denny Hamlin by 2 spots or Alex Bowman by 3 spots. It just doesn't look like it's going to happen. Bowman last car in the lead lap in 5th. Hamlin back to 9 seconds, back again. 22 laps to go. Trying to take his time just like he did at the very beginning of the race now. He's got a big lead. Just over half a track. Roughly half a track ahead of Denny Hamlin. Don't need to overpush the issue. The car's loose again. Saves it down the front straightaway. Still trying to save it all the way into turn 1. 20 laps to go now at Bristol. This car is complete junk. Into the back of Justin Haley. Adding more damage now to the front of the car. Blaney, around, into the wall again. That might be another caution. Multiple cars pile in. Josh Bilicki and Ricky Stenhouse. Oh my goodness. Not only a caution, but it comes out on Blaney, so we can't even pit. 19 to go, and the car has more damage, and he's still running in the race. How he didn't even crash out after that accident, I don't even know. That is our 12th caution of the night. We're one away from tying the record. 21 seconds worth of damage. BJ McLeod will get the free pass at 6th. Oh boy, here we go. Battle to the finish here at Bristol. Green flag back in the air. 15 laps to go. Oh, Blaney spins the tires, trying to take off. Hamlin to the outside. Blaney clears, trying to at least. Now he does. Heavy damage around the race car. Kyle Busch now going for second. And he's there. Bowman to the inside of Hamlin now for third. Clean Air going to the 12 car. These guys might catch lap traffic before the end of the race. There is smoke coming out of the back of the race car. I'm not sure exactly if that's a tire rub or what's going on right now, but it can't be an easy feeling for Ryan Blaney. I mentioned it's been a while since Busch has led. Got a couple wins on the season, looking for another. Hamlin's really looked like the second, or right around the fastest car as Blaney tonight. Blaney's taken over the last 50 laps or so, but see, I mean, everybody's on old tires right now, and I think that's what's helping Blaney out. Plus the clean air. If he catches lap traffic before the end of the race, that is going to be a huge factor in these final closing laps. 10 to go this time by for Ryan Blaney. Oil temp still staying down. I think there's more damage to the right side after that last accident, so whatever. The car was super loose before, now it tightened back up again. And these guys will catch lap traffic before the finish. There's some pretty heavy lap traffic at the rear of the field. Hamlin is back to second, 2 seconds off the lead. Davion West, welcome to the stream. Eight to go. Going to catch lap traffic probably in another lap or two. Bobby Carter will be the first lap car. And he's got a 2.5 second lead, trying to hang on with the heavily damaged race car. 7 laps to go in the Bristol night race. Looking for his 12th win of the season. Down to the inside. Carter gives him plenty of room. Fincham going to give him a little bit of room as well. He runs a little higher. Letting the leader go. Blaney loose. Clipped the apron there. Still trying to catch the car down the back straightaway. Carter about ran into the back of him. Hamlin closes the gap now by about 1.5 seconds. 5 laps left at Bristol. Hamlin is trying to hustle as much as he can. 1 second is the advantage now between first and second. Kyle Busch 2.5 seconds back in third. Blaney's really loose. The lap cars are giving him room to race, though, on the bottom, as well as Denny Hamlin back there. Brendan Gaughan moves up the racetrack. Looks like he's going to give Blaney a lot of room as well. Hamlin has closed the gap. He's a half a second back with 3 to go. Nemechek on the bottom of the racetrack. Is he going to move up as well? I don't know if he's going to or not. Blaney hustles underneath him into 3. Now he'll give him room. Oh, and he almost got in the back of Almirola. Blaney checks up. Hamlin to his back bumper. 2 to go at Bristol. Will Hamlin use the bump and run? White flag this time by McLeod, trying to stay on the lead lap to the end of the race. Not going to let the leaders race it out for themselves. Blaney still loose. 1 to go. Trying to watch the rear view. Ooh, he washes up the track. Hamlin looks low. Blaney holds on. 1 more corner. Through 3 and 4. Slides it into 3. Off the exit of 4. Trying to hang on. Still loose. Blaney wins the Bristol night race. Oh my goodness. What a win. A pressure-packed last couple laps with a pretty much wrecked race car. And Ryan Blaney pulls off a miracle here at Bristol. Oh man. Hamlin breathing down his neck there and running him down from about 2.5 seconds back in the last 7 laps. Oh my gosh. That was a race, ladies and gentlemen. It might have been sloppy. 12 cautions, but what a race. I think we're 3 for 3 on good races in the playoffs so far for the Cup Series side. Whatever engine is left underneath the 12 car's hood, I think he's going to use it up in the victory celebration. Trying to do a Polish victory lap with the burnout. I don't know how much more the engine's got left, though. Smoke show for the ages at Bristol. Oh my gosh. What a win. That's got to be one of the better wins I think I've ever had on the channel. Oh my goodness. What a race. We'll take you through the finishing results and the drivers who clinched their way into the round of 12 today. And an instant classic on the channel. Ryan Blaney with the win, winning also stage 1, so scoring 6 playoff points tonight. Hamlin scores 1 playoff point, goes from 4 points below the cutoff line to advancing himself in to the playoffs. There's one of the big accidents in the race, the first one, I believe. that you saw back behind there. Kyle Busch finished third. Alex Bowman fourth. Bowman came in 4 points above the cutoff line. He gained with Matt Kenseth falling from 11th in points, 17 above the cutoff line coming in. He fell below it due to no stage points and finishing 10th versus Bowman, and Hamlin scored a ton of stage points. Hamlin won a stage earlier in the race as well, and they finished second and fourth, so it was just outmatched there by Kenseth, and Matt Kenseth will be one of the drivers eliminated in the playoffs. As you see, Keselowski 5th, BJ McLeod, great run, 6th, Martin Truex Jr. 7th, Kevin Harvick 8th. Quiet day for Clint Boyer, but he still finished top 10 in 9th. That's back-to-back top 10s for him as well. Drivers that were eliminated here in this round of the playoffs, we already mentioned Matt Kenseth was eliminated. He was the closest on points. Eric Jones finished 17th, came in needing a win in the final stage due to 0 stage points as well. He obviously could not get it done, and the same goes for Eric Almirola. He needed a win going into the final stage of the race tonight because he did not score any stage points either. Rough finish as well for Almirola at Richmond. Put him behind the cutoff line coming into the night, so 27th did not cut it. He is also eliminated, as mentioned, very early in the race in stage 1. Chase Elliott blew an engine, bringing out... actually, there wasn't a caution for that in stage 1 because we went caution-free in the opening stage, but he blew an engine. He's out. So Chase Elliott, Eric Jones, Eric Almirola, and Matt Kenseth are the first 4 drivers eliminated from the playoffs. And the 12 drivers that are going to move on into the round of 12 in no particular order. Virtue of wins, Ryan Blaney and Brad Keselowski. And on points, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, William Byron, Christopher Bell, Martin Truex Jr., Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch, Joey Logano, and Alex Bowman will all be going to Vegas still with a shot at the championship. The next 3 races in the round of 12 include Las Vegas, Talladega, and the Charlotte Roval. So this is going to be a pressure-packed finish to the season, especially in the next round. Thanks for everybody coming out here tonight. A lot of you guys watched from start to finish. I greatly appreciate that. It was an entertaining race, especially with it coming down to the wire like it did. And pretty much all throughout, at no point was anybody locked into having a perfect night. It was far from perfect for Ryan Blaney, but he did get the win nonetheless at the end. And thanks everybody for watching. Appreciate it as always. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We do these full race live streams of the realistic broadcast every day in hopes of one day living my dream of broadcasting real races within the NASCAR realm. Appreciate the support you guys always give to me, as well as the content I'm able to reach out to you guys and that you are loving it every single day. Hit the like button as well if you haven't already. If you enjoyed the race, the commentary, the video in general. Also, we need more people to see this because it was an awesome race, and it will be recommended under other related NASCAR content the more people that hit the like button. So definitely hit the like button as well. Thanks everybody for watching. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow will be the next race, the next full race live stream. It'll be the Xfinity Series right here at this very racetrack under the lights at Bristol once again. We'll see if we'll put on another great showing. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.